Hello everyone, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. Three of the Virgin Islands' best and brightest have crafted a book titled J.A.W.S. Of course, we're going to discuss what this initials actually mean. Joining me today is Mr. Walter Barrett, Dr. Albert Tompkins, and Joshua Edwards. They are upcoming and getting ready for their upcoming book launch and a number of activities. It's not quite often you get such talent all pooling together, but I'm honored to be joined by these fine gentlemen, and we're going to discuss the upcoming book. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Orange alert! Orange alert!
Fire is spreading across the BVI. The fastest, most reliable, and affordable fiber internet service is here for you. Look out for fire in these new locations: Slaney, Duff Bottom, Manual Reef, Seek House Bay, Albion, Hannah's, Palestina, Pleasant Valley, and Havers. Fiber is in your area. Call 444-4444 or visit a CCT store to find out more and bring it home. More locations coming soon.
He hit me. Will CG cover this?
Don't worry. Remember when I was in that competitive arm wrestling circuit? Three-time champion, baby. I did feel bad crushing all those arms and dreams. So I took them all out for ice cream. And then we got crushed. Anyway, CG handled my claims fast.
That explains the arm.
The best cover for the best value. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. You're watching 284 Media. As promised, I am joined by Mr. Walter Barrett, Dr. Albert Tompkins, and Joshua Edwards with talking all things J.A.W.S. Gentlemen, welcome to our platform, and thank you for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you. J.A.W.S., I want to start there. Quite an impactful and to some maybe scary book title. What does it stand for?
J.A.W.S. stands for the journey, the approach, and the work to success.
Interesting. Good. Yes. So how did this trio come about? How did this partnership, this relation come about to now have this piece of work?
So it started actually back in 2017 after the devastating hurricanes of Irma and Maria. We were part of a group called Project Uplift, whereby we were going throughout the territory, just giving inspirational talks and motivation to those in the public service because it was a very trying time. And I noticed that the three of us together, we had this chemistry. We had similar gifts and similar passions. And I said, wow, we should work together. And so in 2018, I was finishing my first book. And I asked these gentlemen, I said, you guys writing books? And they said, we are. So I said, let's launch our book together.
Beautiful.
So we launched all three of our books together one time in 2019. First time in the Virgin Islands. Yes. The three men got together and launched one book. Then after that, I said, well, we should write one book together. And I thought about it, there's a saying that says, taking success out of the jaws of failure. That's how you're being successful. And I said, J.A.W.S. Yeah, J.A.W.S. J for Joshua, the journey. A for Albert, the approach. And then W, the works for Walter. So it all came together. And so we've now come with this book called J.A.W.S. to Success.
And now that you explain it, it makes a lot of sense. I totally get it. I want to talk about what it means for each of you. I'll start with you, Walter. What does it mean for you individually to be on this path, this journey, and now sharing it with the rest of the world? Because this is your work. It can be quite vulnerable.
I like that you said this is your work, because I deal with work, W for work. It's a proud moment. It's something that we wanted to do for quite a while. There were a lot of setbacks, but the very acronym J.A.W.S, journey, approach, work, we had to continue to adjust our approach during the journey. We had to continue putting our own personal work aside and put some work into this project if we were going to be successful at it. And it's just a proud moment to actually have the book completed, to be working with these three great gentlemen, men of God, men of value, men of stature, that I believe in, and that I'm proud to be able to put my name with them, knowing that they carry something positive that is going to go a long way. So my section, which deals with the work, it was a long journey, as I said. Had to do a lot of work, had to do a lot of adjusting, but now we have a formula that we know we can share with the world in a lot of different areas, which we'll speak to a little later. But proud moment.
And tell us about your sentiments and being able to pull this off.
Yeah, I'm very proud of this work because, again, I think it's something that's needed. And I appreciate these two gentlemen, coming together with me to join with this one book that we can give to the territory and the world, really. And as Walter said, it was a process. Matter of fact, when we first started, I had to change my approach because my mother had passed away and I was down, depressed for a little while. But as I adjusted, I said, you know what? If we're going to be successful, let's start with this book. And so for today, I'm very excited to be a part with these gentlemen.
And Joshua?
The book in itself is a major development for men. Men working together on something to develop people, to show the community that not all men are bad. So by us coming together, we are destroying a concept that people have in their minds that the women are going to do everything. But we are here to say that we love our communities, we love our youth, we love our men, and we want to show them the process of being successful.
Beautiful. Yes. I have to ask you guys a very personal question, and I hope it's okay. I'm going to start with you, Joshua, the journey. Is there a point? Was there a point along your journey, or is there an example of a story or incident that you could say that could have faltered you, but didn't? If you could think of a time along your journey that impacted you severely, and perhaps you thought that you were not going to be able to make it.
Wow.
Yes. Well, I'm married with a beautiful wife and two sons. So along this journey, we experienced a few, well, in my family, my aunt passed, and then my wife and I, we experienced a bit of turbulence that I think if I wasn't grounded in my faith, if my wife wasn't grounded in her faith, it could have caused us to not be here today with this project, even in life, because it was that tragic.
Understood.
And I can say that I'm here today because in the journey, a lot of things will be thrown at you and you just don't know what will happen. But the vision will keep you going, wanting to accomplish something of this importance.
Thank you for sharing. Dr. Tompkins, you mentioned earlier about losing your mom and having to pretty much alter your approach. Tell us about your approach to that situation, or perhaps another one that impacted you in a very positive way.
Well, because I'm a psychotherapist by trade, I'm the counselor. And so the test was, me as a therapist, would I get counseling? Would I get help? And, to get my degree, I had to get counseling back then. But now, doing it for a number of years, I had to check myself. I had to humble myself and say, you know what? I need help. So I reached out to a counselor that I know very well. And he gave us some actually marital counseling because it impacted my marriage, losing my mother. So I had to change my perspective of myself, my perspective of my marriage, and my perspective of my goal, my destiny, my purpose. So I believe this book was symbolic of actually completing a project and being successful and saying, okay, if you're really going to talk about the approach, let me see you do it, Albert. So I had to check myself, and I did it.
Wonderful.
And thank God, as Joshua said, I was grounded in my faith, and my wife also grounded her faith, and together we overcame the obstacles that we had to be successful and to be able to share, which is why we actually did this book, so we can share. There is a formula to be successful.
Beautiful.
And it really it changed my life, actually. To be honest with you, this has changed my life at this junction in my life. So
amazing. You are all, in my opinion, successful gentlemen. But sometimes there's a quote that says, you see the glory, but you don't know the story, right? I'm sure you've all heard that. I want to talk about the work that you have been able to put in personally so that we could experience and benefit from who we now know as Walter?
There's a word that a lot of people don't really like because it's painful. It's called sacrifice. There were a lot of sacrifices that had to be made, and I can use just this book alone, putting time aside, committing to it and understanding that it wasn't just about me, because maybe if it was just my name on the book, I could have given up a long time ago, but there were two other persons who were dependent on me putting in that work. We had time schedules. Sometimes we had to push them back. We had to adjust the approach along the journey. But we had a final deadline where we said, listen, we have to be finished by then. So I had to get up. I had to do my research. I had to put in some of my life experiences and what I learned into it. And remember that I wasn't just speaking to myself, but I was speaking to a world that needs to understand the importance of what it is to work. Not just to work because you have to, but work toward what you're really here for. Yeah. This book helps persons to understand their purpose. Yeah. Because we could work all our lives and accomplish nothing that is meaningful. But when you're working toward achieving your purpose, it becomes a different type of work. It's no longer a painful sacrifice. It's still a sacrifice, but it's one that's joyful because you see the end of it. This is the end of a part of the journey because there's so much more. But this is like giving birth to a child, trust me.
and I want to take this opportunity before I go on just to thank you guys so much for leaving your footprint through this piece of work. Right. Now, let's go to the upcoming launch, Thursday, April 11th.
Yes.
Tell us about this exciting launch that we can't wait to experience.
Well, go ahead.
April the 11th, 6:45 p.m. The New Life Baptist Church.
Yes.
It is not a church event, but we wanted somewhere that could hold the number of people that we're anticipating and have them in a comfortable environment. So we're inviting everyone to come out on April 11th, 6:45 p.m., the New Life Baptist Church, for a launch that's going to be like no other book launch you've ever experienced. And we're not just saying that we know the journey that we have gone through. We know the approaches that we've taken. We know the work that we put in it. We know what we have in store for those who come out. There is a special giveaway for some lucky person who's going to be there. There are some great announcements that we're going to be making. And everybody's going to have an opportunity to purchase a copy of this wonderful book that's going to change their life. Whatever facet of your life you're in that you're seeking success for, this book has the answer, has the formula. You just have to follow what it talks about.
Yeah. Right. And we're going to have a certain challenge when you come. So come expecting to be challenged. You'll gain something out of it as well. So we want you to come and see what you can bring to the table.
Right. I believe by you just being there, it will unlock your dreams. It will unlock your passion for writing, for starting a business, whatever it is. This will spark interest within your own self.
Beautiful. I want to talk about some upcoming events. Outside of the launch, I believe that there's quite a bit happening. Can you tell us about that?
Quite a bit, because J.A.W.S is not punctiliar, it's linear. This is a movement.
Okay.
It's a movement.
Yes.
Remember the name J.A.W.S.
Yes, indeed.
And remember that this started right here in the British Virgin Islands.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And remember, we were right here in 284 Media.
That's right.
Remember it. Trust me, remember.
Trust me. Yeah.
So June the 15th and 16th, we have the Jaws of Writing workshop.
Beautiful.
Where we're going to help persons learn how to write. Because there are a lot of people here who approach each of us and say, listen, wow, you wrote a book. Yeah. I want to write this book. They've been sitting on a manuscript or an idea for years. They just don't know how to get it done. We're going to help you write your book. We're going to put you on to publishing agents. Right. We're going to show you the process of writing, how you can self-publish, how you can get a publishing company to actually get your book. We're going to take you through the full gamut. It's
passing it on.
Yeah, it's not just about keeping it. We want everybody has at least one book in them. I tell people that.
I'm sure.
One book, at least.
Right.
You have yours.
I know. I'm about to say. I want to see Ron.
Yes. So we have the Jaws of Writing workshop. Then in November we have the Jaws of Public Speaking. We're going to be teaching people and taking them through a workshop to show them how to be successful public speakers, the journey, the approach, the work that you have to put in to be a successful public speaker. Our signature event comes in July the 21st to the 26th, 2025. That's the Jaws of Marriage Cruise.
Yes.
So for all our married couples, we have a grand Jaws cruise where you're going to be having fun in the sun, on the water, and we're going to go through some workshops, do some work.
Right.
Look at the journey of marriage, the approach to marriage, the work, and we're going to be having our book on sale, The Jaws of Marriage. That is a book that's coming as well with a working manual for couples. So
I just want to say how proud you guys make me. Okay, I really do, and I'm not just saying that. I love the fact that it's not just a book launch, but you said it's a movement. But each of those events that you mentioned, and I hope if there's others you can add to it, but I hope persons understand the power of giving back. Within these workshops, you have knowledge, you've imparted it into the book, but you're now passing it on to persons who want to perhaps write a book, who want to become better public speakers, and most importantly, protecting the union of marriage. Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. I have to talk about cost and availability. I know that the books are going to be available at the launch, but are they available anywhere else, online or any sorts? How can persons get a copy if they wanted to?
So right during our launch, we'll also be launching on Amazon.com. You can find the book there. And of course, like you said, it'll be at the launch itself in person.
And the local bookstores.
Local bookstores.
They will be available here as well.
Amazing. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for your time. Congratulations.
$30.
Correct. Yes, that's right.
$30. Okay, great. I want to thank you so much for your time and congratulations again. Absolutely. I will definitely be seeing you at the launch.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right. Viewers, you heard it here first. J.A.W.S, of course, being launched officially on Thursday, April 11th, 2024, 6:45 p.m. at the New Life Baptist Church. I'm honored to be joined by these three fine gentlemen who have crafted this piece of work that they're now imparting to the rest of us all. Thank you for your time. You've been watching 284 Media. Ron Grant. Goodbye.